this radio station.
Just want to wish those of you a very pleasant good afternoon on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. Truly, there is power in Jesus, the person, to break every chain. Good evening, Gigi. I want to say a special happy belated birthday shout out to Gigi, one of my workers in the vineyard with Prison Fellowship Bahamas. She sends out her birthday. She sends out, send out her birthday greetings to her family, to her son, the sisters, brothers, the co-workers, destined to win a Sunday school group at Evangelistic Temple, the Soup Kitchen, the Friday night prayer ministry, the church family, and the Department of Statistics, now named the Bahamas National Statistics Institute. Also persons from the Bahamas Department of Corrections Group, Prison Fellowship Bahamas, and also our Prison Fellowship group, that's international. And so we want to thank you for joining us this afternoon on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. We're here every Sunday on Global 99.5, Cable TV 974. We're on Facebook, we're on Zoom, we're on YouTube. My WhatsApp number, 433-6917. If you wish to get the Zoom link, you can send me a WhatsApp and request the link at 433-6917. And so we invite you this time to take this opportunity to send out the link to persons in your contact list, inviting them to join us. Let them know we're live. We're only on for 1 hour on the radio and Cable TV 974. That's Global 99.5 and Cable TV 974. But we can always stay on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube for a short time afterwards once we go off live. And so I just want to remind you of a number of upcoming events. Beginning Tuesday, there's a men's health seminar. Pastor Kevin Harris was on last week and remind us. And that's for you men who have not now received your prostate check. If you have already went and gotten your prostate check, then I invite you to join Pastor Kevin Harris, Pastor Mario Moxie at Bahamas Harvest Church for a men's health seminar. Okay, it's the second annual men's seminar, Tuesday, September 24th, 7 p.m. It's Charisma Church. And so that's the church that Pastor Kevin Harris pastors. The speaker is Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. And so they're talking everything men's health. And they say it's open to men's only. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. Admission free. That's Bahamas Harvest Church West Campus, R&D Plaza, JF Kennedy Drive. It's Charisma Church in conjunction with Bahamas Harvest Church and M3, the Men's Mobilization Mission Project. That's the Men's March. I was a part of that. And so that's this coming Tuesday, 7 p.m. I also want to remind you and tell you of another event. I will be there. I invite you to be. Don't meet me there. That is beat me there. The South Beach Clinic. As we know, the focus is on men's prostate health, the prostate cancer check. And so I will be there Tuesday, 6 to 9, South Beach Clinic, and inviting all of you men to be there. As a matter of fact, don't meet me there. You ought to just simply beat me there. I'm going to get mine checked. And I inviting all of you men. They say if you're over 40, this is the time. It's absolutely free. Normally I have to pay to go to the doctor and pay to get it done. But this opportunity is a free opportunity. It is put on by us two. Okay, us two. We had a guest was here last week who talked about prostate cancer. I see my good friend, Mr. Richard Brewster. I think he's in Trinidad. I'm not sure. but I know he's somewhere in the Caribbean. I think it's Trinidad or Barbados. I don't remember. But anyway,
Good evening, Barbados.
Barbados. Thank you, sir. It's good to have you joining us, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm normally trying to get on, but around this time I'll be sleeping. But
Yes,
this
sir.
time I'm not sleeping. But I only have 15 minutes because I'm out on evangelism this evening at 4:30.
Thank you very much all the way there, and continue to work in the prison ministry, continue to lift up Christ.
Yeah, man. Good.
Okay, and so we just want to encourage the man. That's South Beach Clinic. Go get your free prostate check, 6 to 9. They start registration at 4 p.m. That's this coming Tuesday. And then Thursday will be the final one at the Flamingo Gardens Clinic. And so I'm inviting you to go there and to be a part of that. Don't, like I would say, meet me there. You ought to beat me there, because I definitely, as long as the Lord, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ spare my life, definitely I'm going to be there. Then I want to remind you of another very important event coming up on Sunday. It's the Men's March. And I just want to remind you to 3 p.m. I perhaps won't be in studio, because I'll probably be on the Men's March. But I just want to invite you. So this is our 4th or 5th annual Men's March. And so I'm inviting you to join us. That's this coming Sunday, 4 p.m., okay? So don't forget it. And as a matter of fact, the march starts at 3 p.m. We're leaving Christie Park. We're marching on to Nassau Street, on to Ponciana Drive. Then we go on to Blue Hill Road and back to Christie Park. We already have confirmation from a number of organizations. We'd call it the military. I think we've gotten permission that a number of their recruits, Rangers, would be joining us. We have a young man, Randy Johnson from karate, who are using that as a means of teaching young men. And so we have many, I don't want to call, but we have many persons. A lodge called, and they confirmed that they want to bring out a team on the march, sports individuals, the Junkanoo individuals you invited. The march will be led with a banner, and we're going to have some honorees on that banner, so it's going to be a moving banner. And if you're a part of a male organization, you also invite us to join us. You can WhatsApp me at 433-6917, 433-6917. I know Pastor Kevin Harris was supposed to join us. Okay, I guess he's not here. No problem, he's not here to talk about the men's health. All right, good. Okay, also want to remind you of a number of events coming up again. So that's the Men's March. That's next week, 3 p.m. So I won't be in studio, but my co-host Jackie will be right here. I perhaps may start a live broadcast from the Men's March, and then I will join them. We're talking about men's health. That's the focus, okay? Then I also want to remind you, coming up Wednesday, there's a men's event at St. Paul's Baptist Church. I'm going to be one of the speakers, and I'm inviting you to come out to be a part of that. That's this coming Wednesday. We're going to talk about pornography. We're going to talk about blended families. You know, we're going to talk about what do you do as a male. It's for men only. When your wife or your girlfriend or your fiance makes more money than you. Oh, that should be interesting. That should be hot. What do you do as a male when your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance makes more money than you? Also, how do we deal with blended families? That's another hot topic. How do we deal with relationships where children who is not yours, whether it's the male or the female, and everybody has to live together or be together as a family? And then, of course, we're going to talk about that silent one, pornography. And it's for men's only, and it's at the St. Paul's Baptist Church. And so we're inviting you. Somebody just texted me, says they will be there Tuesday. I don't know which one they're referring to. Whether he may be able to get the prostate check or the men's health. But he told me he will be there. So 433-6917. And then I want to tell you about another special event. There's a South, a Ghana mission trip. I'm taking a team of 22 persons now. The numbers is up. It was 20 last week. Two new persons are on board into Ghana. I will be returning there after 20 years ago. I went there, and I have a team will be going back. So we will be heading back to Ghana for the 20th anniversary as we lift up Jesus Christ. We'll also have a medical missionary, and I will also be visiting the prison. And so in that regard, we're having a Ghana mission trip cookout. We're inviting you to be a part of it. Give your donation, 433-6917. It's at the Grantstown Seventh-day Adventist Community Service Center on Wellington Street. Okay, that's the corner. We would call it to the south of Mila Butler food store on Wellington Street. You can get your stew fish, your boiled fish, your stew veggie, or your veggie sauce. So that's next Sunday, 8 o'clock. We're inviting you to come out, be a part of it, support those 22 Bahamians who will be taking the gospel of Jesus Christ, as well as the medical missionary, and those like myself who will be visiting the prison. And so we're inviting you to support us. And if you can't, but you wish to make a donation, you can message me at 433-6917. And there's a young lady who was in preparation. Her name is Andrea Devalier. She's offering massages. So I want you to support her. I got mine this past week, and the price has dropped to $50. I know you can't beat that. And she's mobile. I got my massage. Sorry, Mr. Brewster, you in Barbados and Trinidad, they can't come there. But if you're in Nassau, it's only $50. Can you imagine a massage for $50? I got mine, and so I'm inviting you. You can simply WhatsApp me. I can send you the number. You can contact her as part of her fundraising for the Ghana mission trip. And so I want to invite you to support Andrea. Be a part of it. And so right now we go into the area that is, for me, is the most important one, right? And we always believe in this program. I don't know, is Pastor Harris on? Okay, I see him. Pastor Harris, let me give you these 5 minutes since you joined us to tell us about this men's event. Go ahead, Pastor Harris.
Well, good afternoon. Can you hear me, Brother Dave?
Loud and clear.
All right. Thank you so much again for the opportunity, and thank you to your audience that's listening this afternoon. We're on the countdown to Tuesday coming, the 24th of September, for the second annual Men's Health Seminar. And as you said earlier, this is really an important event because too many times our men are stubborn. They don't like to go to the doctor. They don't like to hear news, whether it's good or bad, when it comes to their health. And then sometimes, Dave, they wait too late, and then we have major problems. And so
Yes,
we felt inspired to do something to help men throughout our churches and throughout our country to address the fundamental thing that's important. If you don't really have your health, it's really difficult to work and to provide. And so this coming Tuesday night, our very dear friend and brother, Dr. Marcus Cooper, he's going to be our special guest speaker again. He was last year, and it was a tremendous success. And we're meeting on Tuesday coming on the 24th of September at Bahamas Harvest Church in the R&D Plaza, JFK. And we start at 7 p.m. The event is free of charge. We're just asking for men throughout the country to just show up and to come, and so that you can, number one, get vital and critical information on a number of areas, including prostate issues, colon cancer, hypertension, diabetes, erectile dysfunction, etc. A lot of things that, again, some men are facing. They may be either afraid to confront or don't know who to talk to about it. And so the session is for men only, so you can feel pretty comfortable not having any ladies around. So when we have the Q&A, a question and answer period, you can really pose those questions that you most desire to get some answers to. And so we just, again, want to appeal to all of our men that are listening this afternoon, and even to those ladies listening today, please share this information with the men in your life. Tell them, come on down Tuesday night, R&D Plaza, Bahamas Harvest Church. It's free of charge.
Yes.
Bring a buddy with you. Bring a friend with you. If they're feeling something in their body and they don't quite know what's happening, they may can get some answers on Tuesday. Let's come together, get some good information so that you can perhaps not only save your life, but also maybe the life of a friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor Kevin Harris. Unfortunately, if it was another night, I'll be going to get the prostate checkout. So I guess I'll have to catch you on another one, sir.
Not a problem. Thank you, Dave, for the opportunity last week and this week to share the message. We do appreciate you, brother. And thank you again, Bahamas. Looking forward to seeing those of you who could make it Tuesday night coming, Bahamas Harvest Church, 7 p.m. sharp, men only. Hope to see you then.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're just reminding you to check it out. And now we go to what for me and my guest, I don't worry, we haven't forgotten you. You're going to take the rest of the show and you will even be available for another show if you want to, maybe next week and also. You won't lose any time. You have the rest of this evening and even next week if you want to. I'll be on the men's march. But now we have the most important area of this program, that which means first, foremost, which is priority for us. And that is what we call this opportunity, Moments with Christ. This is the time when Dr. Leslie McMillan, my spiritual mentor, my financial guidance, a Bahamian who now resides in the US, shares with us, which is the most important time of this program. Go ahead, Dr. McMillan.
Good afternoon, Dave, and to the rest who are on, and to your team. It's always an honor and a privilege for me to be with you, Doc, on this very important community program. And I am sure that the three-in-one God would allow the benefits of this moment always to be a blessing to all who are on and to all the listeners. And for that reason, I begin with our key text that motivates all of this and this moment, where Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all other things will be added unto you." The team of this program would want to keep this before everybody.
Yes, sir.
The first thing is to seek Jesus. Seeking Jesus is equivalent to seeking the kingdom.
Yes.
How do we know this? Because when the Pharisees asked Jesus to show them the kingdom, Jesus said, "You will not see it, it's within you."
Yes.
And the only thing we know in the Bible that is said would be within us, and that's Jesus himself. He said, "Abide in me and I in you." So the recommendation from this program is that to all of us, let's always seek Jesus. Talk to him, to surrender to him. And then all of our physical, financial, social, mental, and other things will be in order. Plus, we would have life eternal. And that's the important thing. Have a wonderful afternoon as you hear now about some of those other things.
Thank you very much, Dr. McMillan. So now I'm going to bring in my co-host. Those of you, my guest, you may have not met my co-host, Jacqueline Gardner. We're talking about, they call it what? Unshakable faith. I want to know what in the world my guest is talking about today. Their topic is, unstoppable faith. Hi, Jackie. Welcome to Transforming Lives.
Thank you so very much. Happy Sunday, everyone. So glad to be on the show. I see we have some beautiful ladies, some queens in the house today. And so I'm just honored to be among queens. So I'm just going to let them in that order. Who's going to take the lead? Just introduce yourself. Tell us about 2 or 3 sentences about yourself. Who's going to start? I see Ms. Raquel Mins. She's taking the lead in a beautiful, my favorite color. So I know you're a good woman. Purple, my favorite color. She is popping. Ms. Mins, welcome to the show, Transforming Lives. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then you can introduce the other ladies from the team. Welcome to the show.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for having us today. We are delighted to be here. My name is Raquel Mins, and I am one of the co-authors, the visionary author for the book that we have launched, Unstoppable Faith. It's a book, it's an anthology with 7 different authors. We apologize for those that are not on the call. We do only have 2 here today, but some are traveling and some are at work. But we have recently became best-selling authors for a book called Unstoppable Faith.
Wow.
And it's a book, a compilation of stories speaking about having unstoppable faith and ways in which we should have unstoppable faith to live the life that we were called to live. So that is a little bit about me. I'm actually also the CEO and founder of a brand called Aim Her, a brand to affirm, inspire, and motivate women to become all of who they were born to become, to live in and on purpose. And then I have Arkia is also on the call, Arkia Higgs. She is also one of our authors in the book, Unstoppable Faith.
All right, so go ahead, Miss Arkia Higgs. Welcome to the show, Transforming Lives. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to dive into that book because I'm excited about it.
All right, good day, everyone. I want to say thank you for this chance and this opportunity just to share this book about our stories. I am Arkia Higgs. I am a physical therapist by profession. I am a wife. I am a mother of 3, and I am a health advocate for helping women to just be the best versions of themselves in every facet of their lives. And that's me quite in a nutshell.
Well, that's a lot. You just mentioned, well, your leader, I think, she just mentioned the fact that you wrote a book. So before I dive into the book, I want to know, why were you inspired either to write the book or to be a part of the writing of the book? Why? So since we have you, Ms. Higgs, let's start with you. What inspired you? What was the inspiration? What was the rationale behind the writing of the book?
Okay, well, when the opportunity came for this book, I was actually at a point where I felt impressed by God that I was to write a book, because I've been through a lot of things in my life, a roller coaster ride of events. Right. And right at that same point where I felt God was impressing me to do that, the opportunity actually came from being a part of the Business, Money, Women, and Success Club. The opportunity came for us to actually collaborate and to write this book. So I just felt like, okay, God, you impressed me to do that. This opportunity comes. I just felt like at that time I had to move because I believed that it was just the right thing to do at that point. Like I said, I've went through a lot in my life, and I believe that each and every one of our tests is to help somebody else. So I just wanted to use my testimony as an inspiration to inspire someone else.
Well, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And it's interesting. I'm presently writing a book, and that you guys will be the guests on the show. So I just ran from writing my book and remember like how it turned 4 o'clock already, and came to the show. So, and I could tell you, I know a lot of work goes into writing a book. So I want to say kudos to you and congratulations on behalf of Transforming Lives. So you spoke a little bit about your rationale. Let's the other queen, tell us, what was the rationale from your perspective behind writing this book?
So before I answer that, I would say how we came up with putting this all together. So Dr. Melissa Hall, she's the other visionary, her along with myself. And it was about early 2022, she got inspiration from God to start a publishing company. And she was like, Kel, I think we can do this together. So her and I have launched a publishing company called Empowered to Write. Her brand is called Empowered Global Empowerment Services, and I am Aim Her. So we put the Empowered to Write, which is her, in the middle of the Empowered, and we started Empowered to Write publishing company. And that was the start of something that we weren't sure which direction in which it was going, but we came together and we wanted to help persons to write their stories, because she was a best-selling author already. And I am also an author of a 31-day book of affirmations for women called Affirm Her. So we came together, it was like, let's help other women write their stories. And then it was about 3 weeks or so later, maybe not even that long, that we saw there was a course online speaking about having a publishing company. We was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for us to join this class and learn the tips, the techniques, the tools, and all that type of stuff. Then at the end of the class, there was a challenge to us to start an anthology. And this was the first thing that came to us, the first assignment that came to us, to start an anthology. And we just pulled on, Dr. Melissa has a club called Business, Money, Women, Success. We pulled on the ladies, Anybody wants to write a book? Who wants to have a story? Who has a story that they want to write? This was the easiest and the quickest way to get women to write the story, because at the end of the day, it's not a full book. It's just a chapter, a part of their story that they were compiling to form one big story about unstoppable faith. So we joined forces and we asked all of the ladies who wants to come in to be a part of the book. And we got 7 authors, well, 5 others outside of Dr. Hall and myself. They came together and said, hey, I have a story I want to write. Hey, I have a book I want to write. And we thought, or we found that the anthology was the easiest, the quickest way to get everybody to pool their stories together. And this is where we were. So I came in on the top, or on the heels of starting a publishing company, wanting to be in a position to be able to help other persons, not just women, but other persons to be able to write a story. Not many persons know how to do it. Not many persons know what to do. Not many persons see the challenges that you have to overcome. But we came together and we said, you know what? Because we've done it before, we want to help other persons be able to be in that space to write their stories. We got the ladies together. We were on this journey for a bit, and here we are at the end of it all with a Amazon best-selling book called Unstoppable Faith.
Wow, that is amazing. That's an amazing journey that is wrapped with all kinds of goodies. I love the fact that you had your own reason, but you pulled together. Like, hey, you and Melissa decided that, hey, we're not going to do it alone. Let's pull together other women with courageous, bold, strong, and courageous stories, and let's take them with us on this journey. And then now you all can claim as a group to be best-selling authors. That is just amazing. That's amazing. So let's dive into this book. I love the name of the book. Let's talk about a personal journey. Can you share a defining moment in your life that made you feel unstoppable? What challenges did you overcome during that time? So I don't know, was that clear?
So for me, I would give you just a snippet of my chapter. My chapter in the book is called Don't Quit in the Pit. What we find is many persons, they go through life and they find ways to, or they try to find ways to come out of a pit. Your life could be going very well. There could be nothing wrong. There could be no challenges, or you could just feel as if, oh, this is good. This is good. God is doing what he's supposed to be doing. Life is lifing as well. And for me, that was my story. I didn't have any traumatic experiences. There were nothing that took me away from God. I always grew up in the church. I was always, from a child, maybe from a teenager, I knew what my purpose was in life. And it was helping other women to discover their purpose, as I was a dance leader, a youth leader, and then I became a minister in the church. So it was just a whole lot of stuff that led me towards building my purpose journey. And there was nothing traumatic, no traumatic experience outside of me as a child having open heart surgery. But outside of that, there was nothing that took me away from the love of God that felt like, oh my God, I just need to give up on life. But it was in the life that lifed where I became a mother, I became a wife. And it was in those seasons of my life that I found that, okay, everything is not going on track, because it's almost as if, okay, God, I've been doing these things good all my life. I've been trying to be the good girl. I've been trying to serve you. I've been trying to serve in ministry, but okay, now life comes and it feels as if I want to quit where I know I can hold on to a little bit longer. And it was after marriage. It was after the first child. My son was born. He was premature. He was 2 pounds, 11 ounces. And
wow.
Very tiny. He was just head.
But I thought mine was small. Mine was like 3 pounds. And I thought that was small. Okay.
So he was just head, right?
Yes.
And at that point, I was like, okay, God, the entire pregnancy was a good pregnancy. Like, where this come from? Total left field, like off the radar. And I'm like, okay, God, I did all what I'm supposed to do. All of my checkups are well. Everything is just going fine. Why now, 8 weeks before my intended delivery, I have to get rushed to the hospital because my pressure is out of whack. Everything, and life was just going as planned. Why is this all of a sudden? Long story short, I prayed and I was like, okay, God, this is the first child that I'm having, so I'm new to motherhood. My husband and I are confused as to, okay, what are we supposed to do with this? However, we held on and we clung to words that, you know what? This is the little prophet that's supposed to come along. We held on to those words and believed that, hey, no matter how this life is going to come, this life is God's child. This is God's seed in the earth. And we prayed and we prayed and we prayed. Baby comes 6 weeks early, and he was 2 pounds, 11 ounces. Again, only head. However, he was the only baby in that season or in that space and time in NICU. The only baby that was breathing on his own, the smallest, but the only in NICU breathing on his own. He was the only baby that was not connected to any tubes or anything. Nothing was wrong with him, only his size. There was only a little, I think it was a touch of jaundice in the eye, which lasts maybe about 2 days or so. But outside of that, there was nothing. Every time we came to the hospital to see him, which was twice a day, he was almost like ready to come home. They was like, baby, you have to like slow down. You don't have the size. He was like almost ready to hang out the incubator, just ready. That's how much strength this little tiny body had. Some persons may have had children that didn't make it that far, and they weren't even that tiny. So this was one of the stories that pushed me into believing that, hey, I know God can and I know he will. It was not looking at what I saw, but it was looking at what God said that kept me in the space or the season of my life where I felt like, God, I don't know what to do, but my only trust, my only hope, my only prayer is in you. And that was where I was at that point, a new mother, like, okay, God. And now my son is 10 years of age and he is functioning as if there was nothing wrong. He's still small, but he is nothing, no abnormality, no dysfunction, nothing of that sort. And I can only give praise and thanks to God, because when I could have doubted, my doubt could have hindered the process. And I didn't want my doubt to stop what God was about to do. I didn't want my doubt or my incapacity to see what the big picture was, to be able to halt or to hinder or to abort the plans of God. And I held on to the faith that my God said it would come to pass. My God said this would be the prophet. My God said that this would be the game changer for me. And it was. And here I am today with a living testimony that, hey, I didn't quit in that pit. It was a pit for me at that point, or what I felt was my pit, but I didn't quit there. And for those of you listening, there might be pits in your life. Yours might be a sickness. Yours might come in different areas, in your marriage, in your health, whatever it may be, but that's a pit for you to climb out of. That's your pit for you to see some light in. That's your pit for you to find something to hold on to grab on, not to quit there. God don't want us to quit. The pit is a part of the process. And a lot of times we often want to abort the process trying to get to the prize, but the process is a part of it. The process prunes you to get to where you need to go. So that was a part of my process. And I'm here just to stand on that, to believe and to say that we won't quit there. So for everyone else on the call, that was my part of the story. Don't quit in your pit.
Woman of faith, you need to see you on fire. I mean, you are burning up in this studio. You're owning this story. An awesome testimony, a great encouragement. I saw someone in the chat just wrote, awesome testimony. Do not quit in the pit. And I mean, I think in this time and this season, so much is happening all around us. So many people are tempted to quit, but you are on transforming lives. And we're so happy to have you saying to us, do not quit in the pit. I see Dr. Melissa just joined. I don't know if she's going to be a part of this discussion. I know she's another major powerhouse, always full with good information. So you can let me know if she wants to join the discussion.
And I also see Andrea Duvalle. She's another one of the authors on the call. So if you feel she's at work, I'm not sure if she's able to come on now, but she's also on the call. So thank you, Melissa, for joining us.
So Dr. Melissa, it is so good to have you here on the show. I hope that you're getting involved in discussion. I see your name all about on Facebook. Your name is Any and everywhere, and it's always with good. Lots of time it's about empowerment and transformation. And, our show Transforming Lives is all about positive transformation. So welcome to the show, Transforming Lives. We're talking about this great book. Let us know. I understand that you're one of the brainchild of the book. tell us a little bit about your experience with this particular book. How did you become involved with this project? Dr. Melissa, I hope that you're here to key in on
Now,
it.
she is in a whole different part of the world. She is in Turkey.
Oh, okay. She's not in NASA, so maybe she just wants to listen in.
Okay, just be popping in if she didn't.
Okay. All
Sure.
right.
She's in a different part of the world.
Okay, well, be safe. Glad to have you on the show. And we will move right along if just listening. Okay, thank you. Great to have you on the show. So the same question, I think it's Erica. That's the correct
Arkia.
Arkia. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you for the correction. Arkia, the very same question.
Okay, well, for me and my chapter is talking about knocking again. And it's actually kind of tied into the same thing Raquel was talking about, don't quit in the pit. But for me, my story comes from a place where, you know, as a young person, a young lady, I was one whose father supported me well, you know, through childhood, coming into my young adulthood, young Bahamian student. Coming out of school, I went to COB at the time. I went to college there, and I found myself at a point where now it was time to transition and go off to school. However, after traveling off to school, I ended up in Jamaica at the University of the West Indies, but I was at a point now where I had been in school for 4 years. And so this was a period when a lot of persons who I would have graduated with from high school, you know, at that time we had the internet. So I saw persons, you know, posting pictures of graduation, you know, graduating from college. I saw persons, you know, posting pictures of, you know, of jobs and stuff like that. And at this point, I was looking at my resume. I didn't have anything to put on it. And I was looking at myself in school, and I had nothing to accomplish. I had nothing to say I could put to my name to say, you know, a degree or anything. And so I found myself in a place where I was really questioning myself, like, what in the world are you doing with your life? And so I started to feel like an imposter. I started to feel like, you know, I wasn't accomplishing nothing, you know. None of my parents had any degrees, but they were just hardworking parents who were giving their kids the best that they could at that time. And so at this point in time, I started to really get depressed, and I started to really search myself to say, God, what is it? What is it that you want me to do? You know, I want to be able to have something to put to my name. I want to be able to make a difference in the world. And so at this point, it led me to a point where I tried to get into medical school. That didn't work out. And then I was at the campus in Jamaica, and I was just looking around trying to figure out what is it I'm going to do. And it landed on physical therapy. And so in the chapter, I share about my entire journey of trying to get into medical school, trying to get into physical therapy school, and nothing worked. And so this actually led to me getting a closer relationship with God, because I'm like, you can't go back home. Your daddy then spent all of this money. You know,
No,
like
no
you know,
turning
what
back.
is it? Exactly. You have to do something. You understand? And so it led to me, you know, really seeking God, like, God, if you don't come through, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, some people are sitting at home and they are waiting for me to fail. They are waiting for me
That's
just
the
to not
reality.
Exactly. That is the reality. And some people said it out of their mouths. And so I was at a point in my life where I'm like, sweetie, I had to actually use that negativity and use that as the fuel for me to actually make something out of myself. And so you would think that, okay, I have this fuel now, right? I started to pursue, I didn't have all of the requirements. When I look at my life then, I'm like, here, you really living at mediocrity. You say you believe in God. You say all of these things, but your life is just not lining up with what God said you should be. And so I came to myself and I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. I did all of the things that I was supposed to do, everything that I needed to do. I had the interviews. I had to do multiple interviews because I was rejected multiple times.
Wow.
But I was so persistent. I kept trying and I kept trying. And eventually I got in. And I don't know if you've ever experienced something like when you've been waiting on God to do something for you, and then you finally get it. There's a level of excitement, there's a level of gratitude that is like none other. And so this is the point where I was. And then while at this point, it got stripped away. Wow. Unexpectedly, it got stripped away. The morning that I was supposed to leave to go to school, the place where I was supposed to get my financial support from told me that they could not do it for me anymore. And I just found myself, I felt like I was standing up and the ground was just removed completely from underneath me. I felt like I was falling. And I went through this entire journey. I had to go back to Jamaica with the one intention was to pick up my stuff and to come back home. And then I share in the story of how God brought me through the process. As I was on the plane, he began to speak to me and tell me the avenue that I was supposed to take. And I took that avenue. And so for the next couple of years, I can't say that it was an easy process. It was very, very hard. But God gradually opened the door every semester. He opened the door one way or the other that I was able to accomplish it. And I told myself, I said, God, I've been in school at the beginning of this journey. I said, I was in school 4 years. I said, I'm going into this program and I am not going to spend one semester extra. I had a determination and a passion. Like I said, I used that negative fuel to help me to accomplish. And I was so focused. People said to me, you go into Jamaica, you must be going to party. I say, party? No. I have a mission and I was so focused. People didn't believe it, but I was able to accomplish it. But I could tell you it was not an easy road. And many days I wanted to give up. Many times I suffered losses. I lost loved ones along the way. And sometimes it got so hard. It got so hard sometimes. And it really took unstoppable faith that helped me to go through those years of going through school each and every semester. And so that was my defining moment for me. And that's one of the stories, one of the many stories that I wanted to share for the people in this book.
Well, amazing. Both of you spoke of the fact that you went through process. And that's so important for people to understand that, hey, to get to the other side, in between there, lots of process. And so lots of process and lots of messiness to get on the other side, the brighter side. So, so glad that you're being very realistic and you're sharing. So as we think about unstoppable faith and you think about mentors along the way, we spoke about these women coming together, and I'm so encouraged to see women are able to work together on a project. I am so encouraged by that. I think I'm so excited to have you ladies on the show. And I'll tell you why. So I have a training company, Legacy Training, and I was in a meeting this morning, and the person actually invited me to the meeting. Very quickly, she said to me, have you ever considered doing a training on, she was saying, emotional intelligence and conflict resolution? So I said, yes, actually, I'm doing that a part of my training for next year. So she says to me, Miss Gardner, let me tell you, women, and she made women cannot work with women. That was her statement. We need to figure out what is wrong. So this person is very prominent, and she spoke about her being on the air and someone taking like a shot of a fingernail, like, the fingernail. Sometimes you go, and like posting it to say, well, you're now going to do something big, strong, and courageous. And they're looking at the fingernail. And she says sometimes it becomes so discouraging because life is life and you have children and you're trying to do this big goal in the midst of having children. And there are times that you don't have it all together, but all you know is that you are committed to the mission. And so you'll go in because, that's how the enemy works. He's going to do that distraction. So I am so glad that you ladies came together. After hearing that story this morning, I need to let her know I found a group of ladies that were able to work together and accomplish great things. So once again, congratulations. So here's my question about being unstoppable. Who within your life, both of you look like young ladies, your short lifespan, has made an impact that has influenced you to be unstoppable? Is there any one person that pops out of your head that, carry that kind of, you could reflect or resonate with you in terms of encouraging you? You say, I can be like that person, unstoppable. Who would that person be?
So for me, I would say my grandmother.
Grandmother.
She's deceased now. But she's Louise McDonald. They've actually named the high school in Bimini after her. She was a teacher by profession.
Mm-hmm.
So the high school in Bimini is named after her. But she was a stickler for me, I would say success. She was a stickler for go get it. You can do it. So even after I was the author of my first book, wrote my first book, I was like, this for my Grammy. Like, I know she would be proud of me to see that, hey, it's not just the fact that I'm educated, but the fact that I'm willing to help someone and to pull someone up along the way. And she was that person to always bring everyone together and we're going to do this together. Like, she was the teacher. So she was the one that, the disciplinarian. She was the one that get you all together. Right. And I think her life being of such helped me or shaped me to be the best that I can be. I didn't want to settle for less. I didn't want to settle for little. I didn't want to settle for mediocre. I wanted to be great in my own self, in my own right. And I attribute all of even when I did the Unstoppable Facebook, if I would make a post on Facebook, I'd be like, Grammy, this one for you. I know you're proud of me. I know even though you're not here to see the fruit of your labor, these were the seeds that you would have planted when I wasn't even born yet. These were the seeds that you would have planted in my mom that then planted into me. So the seeds that she didn't get to see, or the fruits that she's not able to pick and eat from the tree, the seeds that she would have planted, my children will be able to benefit from. But I am a benefactor of the seeds that she's planted. And even the children that are in the high school that she has in Bimini, I'm a benefactor of that, a direct benefactor of the seeds that she's planted. And I'm able to now pick a fruit, pick a book and say, hey, this is my fruit, Grammy. So for me, it's my grandmother.
Amazing.
Awesome, Raquel. For me, I automatically thought about my mom. So my mom, she's a woman who, she doesn't say much, but you can see that she does a lot. She sacrifices a whole lot.
A quiet influencer.
Exactly. She's not gonna say much, but she'll get the work done, even if it means that she has to, be without. And so for my mom coming up, I even thank her. Even I'm expressing gratitude because of the ministry. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have found myself in the church that I was in.
Okay.
And I'm thinking that as parents, sometimes it's easy sometimes to criticize and say, well, oh, but my mommy never do this and she never do that. I feel like my mom did the best that she knew how to do. And with that being said, she put me in a ministry where I was able to be fed spiritually, to be able to ride the storms of life. But when I went on this journey throughout, my young adulthood and growing up, I watched my mom just selflessly, just continuously give, not even just for me, but for the people around me. And because of the seeds, again, what Raquel was talking about, she sowed some seeds that now I'm able to reap of the seeds because of the seeds that she has sown in the lives of others, helping so many different people, helping me. Even when she was here at home and dealing with my grandmother who was bedridden at the time, going to work every day, like just continuously just being selfless. Like that was a drive for me to say, Kia, you got to do this. You got to do this. And even now being married and with children, and I still see her, she's continuously just sacrificing her time to take care of the kids. Anything that I need, I'm able to call on mom. And I just admire that, because some persons would say, well, okay, my child, she's an adult, she can fend for herself now. No, that's not my mom. And so I just admire that selflessness, that sacrifice, and just overall just keeping God first. In everything she did, she kept God first. She was committed to God, committed to her family, committed to ministry, which is an inspiration for me. And that's something that I now want to pass on to my children. Because at the end of the day, when it all passes away, that is the most important thing that we could have, whatever it is that we do for God.
Amen. Wow, she sounds like a silent powerhouse.
Yes,
So
she
we
is.
have limited time, and I want you to tell us now about the book. Good day, all. Powerful show. Thank you, Roger. Roger is one of our faithful supporters. He's always sharing the show. So thank you. Shout out to Roger, and thank you for the positive feedback. So in the interest of time, tell us where we can get this best-selling book. Let us know how much it costs and where we can purchase it.
So for now, and just before you end, we do have Andrea DeValier on the call. If she wants to say something, once you, okay.
Okay,
So,
go right ahead.
So the book has not officially launched in print form yet. We are preparing for pretty much for the end of this year, within this fall period, for the book to be launched. And with the launch, we want to do a conference, an Unstoppable Faith conference that would allow us to launch the book. And thereafter, we'll have signage of the book. However, the book was launched in Kindle version on Amazon, but we are getting ready to launch the physical print version for a conference within the next few weeks. We have not solidified a date because persons are away or in training or different places, but we are getting ready to launch the book. When the book comes on stream, it will be, of course, on Amazon. You'll be able to contact any author for the book. We do have 7 authors in the book. The book will be at a cost of $20 each.
Thank you so much. So, Miss Andrea, you joined us late. Welcome to the show, Transforming Lives. Tell us a little bit about your involvement in this powerful project.
Thank you very much, Sister Jacqueline. Well, my topic is all about overcoming fear in the time of this type of time. Just say, for example, overcoming fear, becoming a homeowner. So my life story was a challenge growing up, having less funds on my accounts and everything. So my chapter teaches you how to first make a plan, have a decision what you want to do. Also, it teaches you how to go and check like different vendors or the shop around and get the best price. And then afterwards, you go ahead and make a plan, make a decision and say, okay, if the house costs $20,000, just using for example, plan, if you don't have everything, you just go and purchase. If you only purchase one lumber at a time, you make a decision, have a clear mind, be conscious of what you're doing, and hold person's accountability. And that's what my chapter is all about, that I had to work with what I had to work with. Say, for example, $250. I had to work with that. And then afterwards, everything came into it was a process. I'll say that, a journey I had to go through, and God made it happen. He's no respect of persons. So once you put God in front of it, you have always have a business plan ahead, and the Lord will see it through. And that's what my chapter is all about. And also, I always in my chapter it tells you how to if you borrow from the bank, it also tells you how to cut down payments to at least to overcome paying such a large amount to the bank. So if I just say, for example, if I borrow $75,000, and say, for example, if you pay extra on the principal, and of course, if you pay a little extra at the end of the year, you definitely can cut down on the years you have with the bank. Thank
Andrea,
you.
tell them about your plans. You plan on traveling with me to Ghana in next month. Talk about the special you're running.
Okay, well, I'm running a special with on massages, full body massages. It is a mission to go to Ghana ministry. So I'm offering a full body massage for $50, any type of massages. So you can call me or PM me at 426-8760 or 427-8760. Thank you. Hello.
Good information. Thank you so very much. I noticed that it's 4:54. We're in like the closing moment, so maybe we do need to have you back because if we got sort of late start, lots of promotion. So I'm just gonna let you have your closing thoughts and then I'll turn it over to the one and only David Williams. So each of you can have your closing thoughts. And like I said, consider coming back on the show where we can give you a bit more time.
So in closing, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity to allow us to come to share on our book, Unstoppable Faith. It's been a journey in the making, but we are so glad that we are here. And for the listeners out there, I want to encourage you not just to speak faith. We speak a lot about faith, but do we really live it? Faith is action. Faith is something that we do. Faith is not what we just sit and listen to. Faith is an action word, and it may not seem so. It may not feel so, but at the end of the day, it is something that we must do in order to obtain. So I want you to encourage you in all of life's journeys, as life is continuing to life for you and through you. I ask, or I pray that you would have the strength and the courage to have unstoppable faith, no matter the situation or the circumstances. Become and live an unstoppable life.
And in closing, I would just like to say thank you again for this chance and for this opportunity just to come on and to share about this book. Like Raquel said, it has been a journey, but it's definitely been worth it. And to you and to your listeners, I just want to encourage you today to say, no matter what it is you may be facing, no matter what it is you may be going through, as long as you have the breath of life in your body, you have hope. It does not matter. Things can turn around in the twinkle of an eye. Things can change. There's always a silver lining after the storm has passed. So I just want to encourage somebody today. Like I said, as long as you have life, God is able. There is nothing that he cannot do. All power is in his hands, and you have hope that things will get better. God bless you guys.
Go ahead, Andrea.
Okay, I would like to thank both of you for allowing us the opportunity to be on at this time. My last word would be encouragement of for with God, nothing shall be impossible. So make a decision what you want to do, plan, and God will see you through. Thank you.
Amen. Jackie?
But my final word, these ladies they're speaking like ministers actually. So I believe there's another ministry, there's a word under there. But thank you so much, ladies, for coming on the show. A very interesting, powerful conversation.
Thank you for joining us on the program Transforming Lives on Global 99.5, Cable TV 974. We're also on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Zoom, all the way. We call it from Grand Bahama in the north to Inago in the south. Thank my friend, Mr. Brewster, who joined us all the way down there from Barbados. And so I just want to remind you, we will be broadcasting live from Ghana. So we will be in Ghana about around the 17th, I think, or the 18th, maybe, or the 19th. I'll give you more information next week. And so we will be broadcasting live from Ghana of October. We're hoping to get 2 shows. It's back to Ghana, homecoming. So there'll be a group of 20 persons that I'm leading, as well as a number of other Bahamians from a number of different organizations. And we all will be a part of that trip back to Ghana, Africa. And we will be broadcasting live. But I just want to remind you, Tuesday, Pastor Kevin Harris, Charisma Church, Men's Health at Bahamas Harvest with Pastor Mario Moxie, beginning 7 p.m. And so we're inviting you as men. It's for men only. It's free to go have an opportunity to share, to discuss men's health. Also Tuesday, South Beach Clinic, us too, prostate cancer. I'm inviting you not to meet me there personally, but to beat me there as we, as men, get the blood tests, and if the prostate needs to check, get everything done. It's very expensive in the sense that when you go to a private doctor, but for the fact that it's absolutely free. So I'm encouraging you as women to encourage the men in your life to go down and have their prostate checked. Also Wednesday, Men Talk, St. Paul's Baptist Church. We're talking when your wife or your girlfriend, Jackie, in your case, you make more money than me. How, as a male, pornography? We know that's a challenge among men. And before I go, I can share the solution. And we also talking about blended families. How do we deal with all of that? And then Sunday coming, as part of the fundraiser for the trip to Ghana, that's on Wellington Street. That's the corner south of Mila Butler Food Store or the Grandstown Seventh Adventist Church. We're inviting you to come out, be a part of it, support us. Stew fish, boiled fish, stew veggie, or veggie sauce. That's 8 o'clock, Grantstown Church Community Center, Wellington Street, just south of Myla Butler Food Store. And don't forget, next Sunday I won't be here. The Men's March, 3 p.m., Christie Park. We're inviting all of you, men and boys organization. Ladies, you are invited to come along, display your signs, let them know you're supporting the men in your life. But we're inviting you, whatever organization, we're inviting the Rastas, Israel United in Christ, the Lodges, the sporting organization. Once you are a male, International Men's Day Bahamas Committee, we're inviting you to be a part of the Men's March, Sunday coming, God Spares Our Life, 3 p.m. Don't you meet us there? You can always beat us there. Dave Williams, Jackie Gardner on the program Transforming Lives, Global 99.5, Cable TV 974, Facebook, YouTube, and Zoom. The solution to everything is found in Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. Pornography, seek Christ first. Blended families, seek Christ first. When Jackie making more money than me, seek Christ first. And then he'll give you the wisdom. Dave Williams, Jackie Gardner, have a wonderful afternoon. Thank those of you who join us. If there's anything you want to still share, you can share. They'll be off the radio officially.
Walk at the same time.
Huh?
They walk at the same time.
Oh, okay, man. See ya, thanks, man. Okay.
Oh. All right, thanks, thank you.
That's next Sunday, 8 o'clock, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right.